Howdy everybody, it's Monster Forge again. Just a little haul video I wanted to share. Just found some stuff today. I'm staying at my brother's place for a couple of weeks, and I just wanted to share some of the stuff that I found. I've been thrift storing, and a couple of other things I found pretty neat, good prices. But anyway, you see here is a big something. I don't think it's supposed to be a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't know. It's not exactly marked as what dinosaurs. Oh, it does say Tyrannosaurus, but it just doesn't really look like a Tyrannosaurus. But I mainly buy these dinosaurs for making stupid force figures, and he's going to be a great addition to the line. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with him yet, but I'll get him home and throw some stuff on him and see what we got. And along with him, I found this guy, a Triceratops type fella, which is funny because his body's more like a lizard than an actual dinosaur. So it's kind of funny. He's kind of squatty, like "Arr!" But anyway, and I also found this Deinonychus or Velociraptor, whatever it is, but he's pretty nice. He's got a good sculpt on the old face bone there. I also found, you'll hear this winding up, I also found this Cabbage Patch Kid crawling baby, which I do horrible things to this, turn it into some abomination from the pits. But it's got that creepy, soulless Cabbage Patch stare going on while she's shaking her booty. Alright, twerking. Cabbage Patch Kid and twerking should never go together in the same sentence. And I got this creepy little Ronald McDonald figure. It just, you know, he strikes me as maybe being a serial killer somehow, but I think I'm gonna have some fun with him. Keep your eyes open for what comes out of this guy. I also found this. She's an elf. I think the name of the line is Warlands, something like that. Something from the 90s, had to have been. It's a simple, you know, barely articulated figure. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got 8 points of articulation. But it's you know, it's okay. I got it mainly to use for stuff because the body's so weird on it. But the face is interesting. I wouldn't exactly say pretty, but it has that anime thing going on. But anyway, that was another cheap thing I found at a thrift store today. Found some good books. One of my favorite books of all time. I had a copy of this years ago and lent it to someone, and as we all know, lending things to people basically means you give it to them. So now I have another copy. It's really, honestly, one of the best books ever written. I think this qualifies as definitely one of the great American novels. And of course, the movie was fantastic. The movie's got something for it that the novel doesn't have, and the novel has stuff going for it that the movie doesn't have. So it's been one of those where I was always satisfied with the movie adaptation of the book. Orwell, Animal Farm. I've always wanted to have a copy of my own of this. So there's happy Mr. Orwell himself. But I think, in light of the current world environment, this is a great book. I read a while back, Raina Telgemeier's first book, Smile. It's a fantastic book about a young girl growing up in San Francisco, and the stuff that you go through as a young teenager. And I think Raina does such a good job. It's an autobiographical story, and this is the sequel to it, which, you know, I can't believe I found it in a thrift store. And this is a fairly recent book. Like, I was looking in Walmart the other day, and I found this book, you know, at retail for like, it's listed as $10.99 here. So at Walmart, of course, it was like, you know, $9.49 or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, I got this for 50 cents. So, you know, that's great. And it's brand, I mean, it's like there's no bends on the cover. The spine of it's not cracked or anything like that. It's like brand flipping new. And I love her stories and all. It's great. Can't wait to read that. Probably read it tonight. And there was a book that when I was a kid, I wanted this book so bad. It was at the Scholastic school fair or book fair that I used to have. Anybody remembers those book fairs? They were like treasured memories of childhood. But I never did get this book. The day that the book fair happened, I of course wasn't paying attention, and I didn't have any money with me. But anyway, this book came out. I wanted it, and I found it for 50 cents today. Drawing Beasties and Yuglies by Lee J. Ames. And it is, oh, it's such a fun book. Fun critters in it, like this guy. His name is Elbert Trouble, which Elbert, the way they spell it, spelled backwards, is trouble. And what's cool is you can take this guy and flip him over, and you got this guy. But I always love, like, this guy's artwork is outstanding, and the critters that he comes up with, and people that he comes up with, the Yuggly Uglies. It's just really cool. Love it. Love this book. I love books like this. Like when I was a kid, I loved the how to draw books. Like they were my thing. Of course, dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. But check this out. I love the Melty dude. He's great. But there's a really cool, yeah, like this guy. His name is Diz Troyer. What a cool guy. It's like he could give Iron Man a run for his money. But yeah, just a really cool book. Glad to have it in my collection now. Makes me say, oh look, it's Alan Moore. Yeah, so I got that. And that was pretty much it for my thrift store haul today. I just went in quickly in thrift store, but I got some other stuff that I picked up recently. Pretty good deals on them. I love this movie, Battle Los Angeles. I love the critters in it. I love the concept behind it. But I got it at Big Lots. It's supposed to be $5 on DVD, and I got it for $2.50. So, you know, bonus time. But yeah, I love the design of the aliens in this movie. They're so creepy, and I don't know, love it. Love that movie. Getting it for $2.50 was, yeah. I also got at the thrift store. I also got the soundtrack to Pulp Fiction, which is something I've wanted for years, and finding it for $1 was more thumbs. But some other stuff that I found recently. At Five Below stores, they've been having these are the Transformers Titans Return Titan Masters, and they're little tiny transforming robot things. But what's cool is like this one is he's styled after the old Generation 1 Transformer called Repugnus. I always thought it was a really cool looking bug monster. He's got little teethies in there. But what's really cool is you can pop his head up, and you've got a little Come on, fella. You've got another little tiny robot, which is a Titan Master. And he's posable. Like, he's got posable arms, and his legs will fold and stuff like that. And even his head is on a ball joint, which is really cool. But, anyway, the cool thing about the little Titan Masters figures is they made several figures in the Titans Return line that are headmasters, which means that their heads are actually little robots. And so you take this guy and fold him up, and he's a head for another robot. And I've got a couple of the robots that have the exchangeable heads, and it's always cool to kind of pop their heads off and trade them. But I just like the little robot, you know, the little guy. And I got the Repugnus one, and I also got I got this one, which is Nightbeat. He's got a little airplane that he, for some reason, rides on top of, and the little airplane will transform into a tank with the drill, which is kind of neat. And he can fold up in here, but you know, like the other guy, it's a little tiny robot, and he turns into a head. This head being the character Nightbeat, which, if I remember correctly, Nightbeat was like he was a detective in the Transformers stuff. So that's cool. I like detectives. I like crime shows, so that works. But anyway, I just like the little robots. And another thing that I found, those are only $3 at Five Below, which is $3 is nice for these, because the retail on these were $5 when they first came out, and so getting them brand new for $3 is really nice. And it's nice having little, especially this guy. This is my favorite one because he's a little ugly bug guy. He's supposed to transform into some kind of bug plane thing, but I just keep him like this. He's cool. I love his green eyes. I also found at a Ollie's store for $6 is one of the mini bots, or I think they call them Legend Scale now, Transformers. This was from the same line, the Titans Return line. And this character called Cosmos. He was an old G1 character. Really cool looking robot. He's got really cool styling. I like his fins on him and everything. But the cool thing is, when he transforms, this was always one of my favorites. I never had the original Cosmos, but I always liked him. And let's see. I like the fact that, you know, I was always a science fiction buff, and so I loved having a Transformer that would turn into that, you know, iconic flying saucer from back in the day, you know, kind of like a 50s type flying saucer from the movies. But you know, he's really cool looking. He's one of my favorite Transformers I've gotten in years. See, he's even got a place he can suck cows up into. But yeah. Oh, one more thing that I picked up today. They had the new Hot Wheels Star Wars vehicles from the new Solo movie, and I picked up the new Millennium Falcon, and I think it's a beauty. Like, I like the way they retro designed it. Like, this is Lando's version of the Millennium Falcon, which has got, you know, all its components are custom and everything. Like, it's got a low profile dish on it. There's the front part that's missing on the Millennium Falcon, and I love the design because it's like, it makes me think of, you know, it's a Corellian light freighter, and the cruisers that the Empire has, like the big Star Destroyers and all, they're supposed to be Corellian design. And so it's really cool to see that carried through. You have sort of a Star Destroyer look to it now with this in the front. And that's kind of cool to see that design flow through. And I might be wrong about the Corellian design. Star Wars fans would probably tell me better. But, you know, I've only been into Star Wars since I was a kid. But anyway, I think this is a really cool design for the ship. It's really sleek, nice looking. It's kind of, you know, whenever Luke looked at Han Solo's version of Millennium Falcon and said, what a piece of junk, you know, you see this thing that's sleek and beautiful, and it's like, that's what it was. Before Han Solo did some ripping and tearing parts out and refitting it and everything. But, I don't know. Looking forward to the movie, and I really like the design of the ship. And, of course, all of the Hot Wheels Star Wars ships come with a little stand. So, you know, you can... holds it up pretty well. But yeah, that's my haul for the past few days. I picked up the Cosmos figure in Tennessee when I was going to a family reunion. We stopped by an Ollie store and I found him there, and that's really, honestly, out of all the stuff I picked up lately, this figure is my favorite thing. Because what a cool little ship. It's got a little problem here with the molding. It doesn't want to hold together, but I'm going to fix that. That's a Dremel. That's a Dremel grinding away from being fixed. But anyway, I still love it. Like it's such a cool little dude, and he can give Han Solo a run for his money. But anyway, it's Monster Forge. Having a good time with toys and books and all kind of neat cheap crap I find. Expect more updates as I keep looking for thrift stores up here, because this is like thrift store heaven, and I'm going to the flea market on Saturday, so maybe I'll post some more stuff then. Later.